Alright everybody, welcome to part 4 of Let's Play Mega Man X2, or Mega Muchacho. Depends on if you're Spanish or not. Before we go on into the X-Hunter stages, we're actually going to head back to Bubble Crab stage and grab ourselves something. Because Bubble Crab stage is the only stage you actually have to go back to if you go in the order that I did. Or have to, period, so yeah. Because you do actually need his weapon to get into the state, well, the thing, a majig. Plot MacGuffin, I don't know. What's the idea you have?
Hey there guys, I'm Sonic Ghost.
Hey guys, X226 here, and hooray for use of plot MacGuffins.
That was the longest introduction ever I've had from Matt.
Matt, you're wrong. That wasn't the longest. There's still more.
No, for some reason I thought we were still using the same guesses, and then I was like, oh crap, that's right, we have Matt in this.
Everybody forgot about me.
It's been a while before we've actually forgotten that someone was actually in the recording. And this time it wasn't me, Fritch.
But back on this subject, this is the only stage you got backtracked to. The X games seem to do this a lot, actually, for their upgrades. They always love to have you come back to a stage just because you need a future weapon, and most of the time it's their weapon.
I don't usually mind this. The only game I don't like the backtracking in is X3. But that will be an argument for another day.
What about X6?
It's up there.
I was about to say, that one's gonna have just as much of a problem. X3 and 6 are both known for backtracking.
Well, let's put it this way. It's not so much the backtracking, it's the entire stages themselves.
Now, Ken, forgive my ignorance, but how are you pulling up heaps and heaps of energy pellets? Because for the life of me,
basically, if you charge the Morphmoth's weapon and do it in certain locations, it will draw up certain power-ups around the area.
Oh, okay.
You can also do this in Crystal.
It's like the perfect place for you to grind right there for health. And then, like you were trying to say, in Crystal's Snail stage, there's a similar point, and that's how you can grind for a weapon refill, even though you probably won't need that one.
Okay. I wonder if that actually works in Mega Man Extreme 2. I'll need to look into that. Or Extreme 1, whichever has Morphmoth in it.
Oh my god. I love the X-Hunter stage music.
Yeah, I do too.
It was aiming at...
Since how I was in the... My god, can you guys let me talk?
No.
I've been trying to wait patiently just for a little bit.
Dude, it's
Unprofessional.
Seeing how I haven't been in the first 3 episodes, I just wanted to say, this actually, in my opinion, I actually like X2 the most out of all the X games so far.
And before we go any more of that, why do we...
That I have played so far.
About not being in these videos.
Mm.
Guy, we do this whenever. Stop complaining about it.
That's understandable.
No, I wasn't complaining about it.
X2 comes really close in terms of my actual favorite in the entire series. X2 and X4 are the ones I come back to play the most.
What about
So,
X3?
yeah.
It's got Crushed Crawfish in it. Darn best stage music in the whole game.
Marley, if the best part about a game is it's a soundtrack, you just download the soundtrack. We've heard that argument hundreds of times.
Oh yeah, Sonic Next Gen. Anyway, moving on.
Well, and Mega Man X6 had a killer soundtrack too, but the
True.
game was crap.
Also, right here, I want to point out in those wall climbing sections, if you use the silk shot there, you can actually destroy those guys, so you don't have to worry about the crushing as much. That's what I usually do now.
Also, something occurred to me, Ken. You've only got 3 sub-tanks. Where's the 4th one?
You got it.
Yeah, I got
You
it.
did? Oh yeah.
It's just not full. It's just not full.
Ah.
Island.
Wrong weapon.
I
No,
wasn't
wrong.
paying attention because the last time I saw the pause screen and was actually looking at the monitor, you had 3.
He got the last one at the very beginning of the stage.
I was
Yeah.
paying attention.
Apparently so.
Yeah, I forgot that when he
Say-
paused it to change the silk shot, he only had 3, yeah.
I think Violin is one of the most cheapest bosses in the entire game.
Yeah, but this
Or in the
easier.
X series for that matter, so yeah, I totally agree.
But this
It-
one's a
it-
lot easier than the first one you fight, because the first time you fight Violin, even though we haven't done this playthrough, you don't have any of those blocks around you, and you're not coming in here with all your weapons, so if you're going a path where you put these hunters first, you better have a sub-tank ready. Otherwise, you have no chance of survival, and even then, it's questionable.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad...
Yeah, Violin is probably the hardest. Well, I don't know if I can say the hardest, but he's up there.
Actually, I think he honestly is. At first, when I first played it, I thought Sergi's was.
Well,
But now,
yeah, that's what...
playing it multiple times, freaking Violent gives me more trouble than
Well,
that.
actually, that depends on what kind of... If you're looking at it from a weakness perspective, or just a buster perspective. Buster perspective, Sergi's is probably the hardest. Weakness perspective, probably Violin. Because Sergi's you can break easily if you use his weakness correctly.
Yeah. But then again, a lot of the bosses of Mega Man series seem to have that tendency.
Mm-hmm.
I just actually started playing Mega Man 9 for the first time just the other day.
Yes, that is right.
Really enjoying that.
Is it hard?
Molly, who do I take on first?
At this rate, I just tell you, just go look it up online. There's so many guides that'll tell you who to take on
Well,
first.
I
It's always either
tried,
Galaxy
and
Man or Splash Woman. And I recommend Splash Woman.
Sorry, I'd like to start conversations with my friends. Thank you very much.
Galaxy
Well, they're
Man
not
is
around, huh? Huh?
easier to avoid.
I think Splash Woman's a better pick because she takes double the damage from a Buster. The only Robot Master that does that.
I mean, she's easy, but she does quite a bit of damage if you're not careful.
Hmm.
I only had trouble with her once, and that's mostly because of my screw-ups.
Well, we'll eventually get to a Mega Man 9 playthrough on League, so...
We'll get to that in 10 years from now.
Oh!
And that happens.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
You got spiked!
And doesn't you just have to use the flame weapon to jump right across?
Speed banner!
The magic of editing.
Indeed.
Thank goodness, right?
The only thing I was missing is an awesome transition.
Oh, we don't really need those as much, now do we?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking!
Wait till we get the Link to the Past!
Okay. This boss made me almost rage quit once.
So, Guile.
I honestly think out of all the bosses you fight here, well, it's one of the easiest. I was about ready to say the easiest, but now with the upgrade you get in the next stage with the next
Remember,
boss.
This
one's easy.
I say this was me playing for the first time.
Well,
No.
my first instinct was I used the Crusher here mostly just because, well, it can destroy anything. I wanted to see if it destroys him in one shot. Even though it didn't, it destroyed the first form in one shot. Then from there, you just use the Sonic Slicer.
What I found rather hilarious is in the Extreme games, despite not actually being part of the plot at any point, this boss fight with Sergei actually is in one of the Extreme games.
I think I remember seeing that. I don't know.
Yeah,
what the hell is up with that?
Oh, there we go. Okay, good. I was like,
See
why
what I
aren't you
mean?
using tickets?
Sadly, you can't stand on the platform there in the Extreme version.
I'm gonna blame
Because the
Crunch.
platform is so darn small.
So, in a way, it was an unintentional design. But since this boss is incredibly hard to avoid, I don't really have a problem with that.
I
Yeah,
had
you're in
to
the
learn-
sweet spot now.
I had to learn his pattern from my playthrough of this. I really did. Because I didn't know I could just stand there and spam stuff. This is, like I said, I just got into the X series myself, so like when I played this game, I didn't take any hints. I fought the bosses the way I thought I was supposed to.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until I learned the weakness order, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what he's weak against.
I do admit it
Bye,
does
sir.
take playthroughs, but I usually would look up those if I really don't know them, just simply because I want to make my job easier. And of course, you got your head stuck in its capsule.
Where's Mega
Like,
Man? There he is!
It's like
You
he's
could
just
do a Sonic 3 and Knuckles, just ride it over the rest of the launch base zone. Hang on a minute. It's not the Eggmobile!
Is it me, or have I not really had much of a say in this episode so far?
Well,
Well, you had most of your say in the start, and then we're like, no. We're here too.
We're
all
about
at
to
the
both
top.
traits of interrupting each other. I don't know why. It's one of those nights, I guess.
On professionalism.
Even though we're not professional, we're not. Just giving you that heads
Screw
up.
these stupid platforming sections with the freaking moving.
Yeah, that takes
Whatever.
forever.
yeah.
I just say screw it and use the crystal snail weapon.
This is the only one I just say you need to take because, well, that wall jumping segment up there is near impossible. So until just right up to a point where you can just start jumping again.
I forget why I even turned that on to begin with.
I don't even know, because you need to use the crystal snail weapon here and not the flame burner. Or speed burner.
Speed burner. Flame does not start with an S, Lester.
Yeah.
Maybe in my world does, I don't know.
There we go.
Now swap your weapons.
Yeah, it gives me nightmarish flashbacks of those stupid moving platforms in World 7 of Super Mario 3. Oh my god. I hated those levels so much.
You get it? You get it? Again? Oh, you don't get it.
Yes, I do. I was just just trying to spawn the backpack.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were just completely skipping. I was like, Ken?
So you
Ken?
Let's go.
I was about to say, I don't want to have any inconsistency in this LP either. I mean, Lester got the Hadouken after all, and I better hope to God Angie gets the gold armor. So yeah.
Oh, she probably will.
And I will just say I am so glad, that you don't require the moving platform to get to the section with the special weapon in X2, because in Extreme you need that moving platform to get the Hadouken and Shoryuken.
I think it's because you don't have the crystal snail weapon.
Yeah, that's mainly the result.
This jump is so hard to make, that's why they're giving you that extra life. This takes so many attempts your first time playing.
Ken, do you need some ice for that speed burn?
Hardy, har.
It's sliding down the wall until I get magically into a wall.
Now this one was a little
Wow,
more
you
than the
disappeared
game.
behind the text box. I am not worthy. We're not worthy. We're scum. We suck. Wayne's World reference. Totally.
Why doesn't Dr. Light have a Ken's costume? Inconsistency for the win.
Don't know, but this was the more cryptic one compared to the two weapons you get, because on the first game, well, besides killing yourself 4 times it appears, but here you need to be at full health, have 100%, and then fly through a wall. In my opinion, a little more cryptic to find.
But it's more, in my opinion, it's easier to pull off than the Hadouken, because I find myself just rotating it. Because I find...
Hadouken, all you gotta do is down whatever direction you're facing, and then the attack button. Shoryuken, you gotta pretty much like rotate the joystick or D-pad. It's so hard for me to pull off.
Which is so much better that in the extreme games all you need to do is push up or down.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'd much rather spin the control stick as opposed to doing a button combination because the game's so picky about it.
No, but that's the thing. Rolling it is the problem, because if you miss part of the roll, it'll get wrong. Instead, it's basically saying push no button except for the fire button to shoot a regular charge blast. Hold up for the Shoryuken and hold down for the Hadouken.
With the Hadouken, you have 2 directional movements and then the attack, but with the Shoryuken, you get at least 3 or 4. So it's a little more complex for the controller.
I was going more with the input that you get in the extreme games, because, you know, it's far more straightforward and less frustrating.
This is actually the first time I pulled off his weakness against him, and I didn't even know it. I just sort of took a guess because, well, it's easier to get up to him than with any other weapon.
Yeah.
So.
You could have Shoryuken.
Honestly,
Shoryuked him in the face. That's nearly English.
Shoryuken hit kill for all the other bosses except this one. It's the only exception, but I think it's because you pass through him a couple different times, so it counts as 2 hits.
It's possible to kill him in 1 hit. I've done it before.
Well, every single time I try to pull off the Shoryuken on every single last other Robot Master besides this. 2
Really?
hits.
Because in my opinion, he's the easiest boss to pull off a Shoryuken on because he's pretty much right in the air.
That's what I was saying. You can kill him in 1 hit. Every single last other one you can't. And he's the easiest to do it with, too. That's what I was saying.
Sounded like he said it was the hardest one to do it on. I was like, what?
Oh, no. Gets harder later is what I meant.
Anyways,
But here,
next episode, guys.
Shut
Thanks
up.
for interrupting.
Yeah.
You do it to us!
Next part, the finale. Go, or I shall kill you all. Good sir.
Okay, there we go. Wow,
Go.
that was nearly a word. Yes, wow, we're good.
Ready?
I'm ready, guys.
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Plane!
Marley, you got the recording equipment up.
Yep, just wait for it to go over.
I need to.
Can't wait to finish this.
Bloody!
I
You
started
can
our
hear
next
it! It's a
recordings here
helicopter!
too.
You want to know what I'm ready to finish more than this? Golden Sun.
Nearly gone. Nearly gone. Okay. Bloody helicopter!
Quick, well, it's gone.
And Skype says you've got a lot of background noise. I wonder why.
Is it the cat?
No, it's the bloody helicopter going over.
You don't have to say it.
What? Why didn't my video play? Start over.
Your ping failed you.
Boink.
Oh, it gives me a chance to turn off the N64.
Get your N64 out of here. PlayStation 1's better. Anywho.
Okay, argument for another day. I'll make a podcast out of it.
7-hour
Right.
podcast of why
I'll cast your pod.
I grew up on the N64, but...
Really? I grew up in a house. Yes! Best
That's-
pre-recording ramble ever.
Anyway, let's save this for later.
Hey, do one go?
Alright.